Did you know that recruiters spend only 7 seconds on your resume before deciding if you're a good fit? That's right, just 7 seconds. That's less time than it takes to grab a cup of coffee. And here's something even more shocking. 75% of resumes never even make it to human eyes. Why? Because they get filtered out by Applicant Tracking Systems, ATS. In today's competitive job market, your resume has to do more than just look good, it needs to stand out fast and get past the machines. In this guide, I'll show you how to craft a resume that doesn't just catch the eye, but makes employers stop and say, wow, this is the one. We'll dive deep into simple but powerful strategies that you can use to turn your resume from ordinary to extraordinary. From personal branding that highlights what makes you unique, to design tips that make your resume visually pop, we'll cover it all. You'll also discover how to quantify your achievements with hard numbers, how to leverage non-job experience, and how to future-proof your resume for the ever-changing job landscape. Ready to make your resume impossible to ignore? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Hidden Power of Personal Branding in Creating Your Resume. It's not just about listing skills and experiences. It's about crafting a personal brand that stands out. Personal branding is about conveying your unique value proposition, what makes you different from the hundreds of other candidates. A study by Career Builder found that 70% of employers use social media to screen candidates, and 57% have found something that made them reject a candidate. That's why it's important your resume aligns with the image you want to project. Your resume is like the first impression at a job interview. It has to reflect who you are, what you do best, and why you're worth hiring. Focus on your core strengths and values to build a cohesive narrative. Employers don't just hire skills, they hire people who fit into their company's culture. Think of your resume as a digital handshake. Make it firm, memorable, and genuine. Start by reflecting on your career values. What are the principles you live by in your work? For example, are you someone who thrives on collaboration, or do you prefer working independently? Knowing this helps you craft a story that matches your professional journey. A personal brand statement at the top of your resume can help you tie everything together. It's a short and compelling summary of who you are and what you bring to the table. Include keywords that align with the roles you're applying for, but make sure they also match your personality. If you're in tech, perhaps your brand is innovative problem solver driven by a passion for creating scalable solutions. If you're in design, maybe creative strategist with a flair for blending aesthetics with functionality could work. Aligning your resume with your personal brand means you'll attract companies that share your values, making the job search process more rewarding. Chapter 2: The Visual Impact, Designing for Attention. Imagine this. A recruiter spends only 7 seconds reviewing each resume. That's not a lot of time to make an impression. Your resume's design plays a huge role in whether you catch their attention. Simplicity is key. Keep it clean, easy to read, and aesthetically pleasing. Using bullet points and ample white space makes your resume easier to scan. According to a study from the Ladders, resumes that are more visually appealing get 30% more attention from hiring managers. Another thing to remember is that your resume needs to look good on both a computer screen and a printed page. Many employers use Applicant Tracking Systems, ATS, to screen resumes, so making sure your design doesn't confuse the software is crucial. Avoid using fancy fonts, images, or tables that ATS might have trouble reading. Stick to standard fonts like Arial or Times New Roman. While creativity is great, clarity should always be your priority. The use of color is another powerful tool. Adding a splash of color to headers or section dividers can make your resume more eye-catching, but don't go overboard. Choose a professional color palette like navy, dark green, or burgundy. According to a report by JobVite, 80% of employers say that a well-organized resume is more likely to get an interview. A strong design helps you communicate your professionalism without even saying a word. Chapter 3: Skills Overloaded, Using the Power Word Secret. The words you use on your resume matter more than you think. Words like managed, led, or created can make a huge difference in how hiring managers perceive your experience. In fact, a study by Ziti revealed that resumes using action verbs resulted in a 27% higher chance of getting noticed by employers. Action verbs provide context, showing that you didn't just do a task, you took charge of it. But it's not just about choosing the right verbs. It's also about matching them to the job description. When writing your resume, take the time to use keywords from the job ad. Many companies use ATS software that scans for these keywords. If you don't use them, your resume might never get seen. According to Glassdoor, 75% of resumes are never seen by hiring managers because they don't make it through ATS. So, tailor your resume with the right words and ensure it passes the automated filter. Another strategy is showcasing both hard and soft skills. Hard skills, like data analysis or programming, are technical and measurable, while soft skills, like communication or leadership, are equally important but harder to quantify. By blending both, you show you have the full range of skills employers seek. Use power words like innovated, delivered, and engineered for your hard skills, and verbs like influenced, coached, and mentored for your soft skills. If you've found these tips helpful so far, make sure to hit subscribe and stay tuned for more expert advice in the next chapters. Chapter 4, Quantify, Don't Qualify, the Magic of Numbers. Numbers are your secret weapon when it comes to creating a standout resume. A generic description like responsible for sales growth doesn't carry as much weight as increased sales by 30% in 6 months. Employers want to see measurable results, not vague claims. A study by Top Resume found that resumes with numbers were 40% more likely to get noticed. The key is to quantify your achievements wherever possible. Start with your past roles. How much did you contribute to revenue? What percentage did you increase customer satisfaction or decrease operational costs? If you were in a leadership role, how many people did you manage? For instance, instead of saying managed a team, say led a team of 10 to achieve a 20% increase in productivity. Numbers add credibility and demonstrate your impact. When you can't use exact numbers, provide estimates or comparisons. Achieve the highest sales for the region still shows success, even without the exact figure. Remember, specifics bring your experiences to life. Using data-driven achievements makes your resume much more compelling. Chapter 5, The Hidden Gems, Leveraging Non-Job Experience. Non-job experience can make your resume stand out in ways job history alone can't. Things like volunteer work, freelancing, or even personal projects demonstrate transferable skills that employers value. A study by LinkedIn found that 41% of hiring managers say they value volunteer experience as much as paid work experience. Take a moment to think about your non-job experiences. Did you lead a charity event? Were you the project manager for a community initiative? Did you freelance on the side? These activities show leadership, problem solving, and time management skills, qualities every employer loves. Include these experiences in a separate section or blend them into your professional experience. If you've worked on a personal project that's related to your field, include it. A graphic designer might showcase freelance work, while a marketing professional could feature a personal blog or campaign. Even if it wasn't a paid role, these experiences prove you're proactive and passionate about your craft. Chapter 6, The Future-Proof Resume, Staying Relevant in a Changing Job Market. In today's fast-paced world, the job market is always evolving. To make sure your resume stays relevant, you need to constantly update it. Technology is rapidly changing industries, so showing you're adaptable is a must. A report by the World Economic Forum found that by 2025, 85 million jobs could be displaced by automation, while 97 million new roles will emerge. How do you stay ahead of this? By learning new skills and staying informed about trends in your industry. Your resume should reflect this adaptability. If you've taken a course in a new technology, software, or business trend, include it. It shows that you're not just resting on your past accomplishments but are actively preparing for the future. Many employers now look for candidates with a growth mindset, which means you're open to learning and evolving. Remote work is another factor to consider when updating your resume. As more companies embrace hybrid or fully remote models, highlighting your experience with virtual collaboration tools or remote project management could give you an edge. According to Buffer's State of Remote Work report, 97% of employees want to work remotely at least some of the time. This means showing you can thrive in such an environment can set you apart. By future-proofing your resume, you're not just preparing for your next job. You're positioning yourself for a career that adapts to new opportunities and challenges, no matter what the future holds. Don't forget to subscribe for more career tips and tricks as we continue to break down how to stay ahead of the competition with a standout resume.